as another in our continuing series of Office of Community Engagement and Partnerships Conversations. I'm here with one of our wonderful community partners, Thomas Mantz, of the newly branded Feeding Tampa Bay. He, together with David Himmelgreen, received a Research That Matters grant, and we're really excited about the work that's been happening here. And you are continuing a very broad partnership with USF.
We are. We view the university as a leader in the community across a broad variety of platforms, and one of which, most important, which we've been working with Dr. Himmelgreen on, is research. How do we understand the longer-term implications of hunger in our community? Along with a few other programs, which I'm sure we'll talk about, but that has been one of the main ones. And of course, Dr. Himmelgreen is an active and wonderful board member of our organization as well.
Yes, can you talk a bit about the fact that you are very concerned with having the university involved so that you have this research component, so you don't keep just doing the same thing and not knowing the results?
Well, I think it's important to understand that there are implications to the issue of hunger. I think too often we categorize hunger as simply something that if we just give folks food, we've somehow solved that issue. The reality is that the broader implications of hunger are greater. So whether it's in the life of a child or the life of a senior, I think we need to understand, it's critical that we understand what are the health factors that are occurring as a result of a lack of nutrition, which is the result of a lack of good foods into family homes. So whether it's a child or whether it's a senior, what's happening? Specifically with the grant that Dr. Himmelgreen and you all provided to us, it gives us the ability to look at, we have a specific program that deals with children who are hungry. Is that program effective? Is it meeting the goals that we have for it? Are the children in a better place for us having provided that particular meal? So research lets us know, obviously, if what we're doing is providing the benefit we're looking for.
You made a really interesting distinction. You said we can not necessarily end hunger, but we can provide enough food so that people aren't hungry. Can you explain that a bit more?
Well, and so this is a great debate amongst people who would talk about the issue of hunger in communities. Very often you'll hear the phrase, we want to end hunger. My feeling is that hunger is an outcome of poverty.
Yes.
That when folks don't have enough resource across the whole of their lives, hunger is then inside of the home. But what we can do is we can build a hunger-free community. And what that means is we locate and distribute enough food to everybody who is hungry. So whether that number is here or whether that number is here, we can then source enough food to bring it into families. Poverty may still exist, but we can take care of the hunger issue.
Is that another really important part of involving yourselves with the university, because there are so many disciplines that can kind of bring to bear on this particular issue?
Yes, and so if you look at one of the conversations we're having with you all now is we're looking at partnering with both nutrition and anthropology. So we want to understand what are the nutritional issues that are facing families, how do we educate, how do we create better food source that deal with nutrition issues, but on the anthropology side, what's happening to families and communities as a result of poor nutrition? I think a lot of this information, for most of us, we'd say, well, anecdotally we understand it, or conceptually it makes sense to us, but what the university can help us do is put very specific data around this, that we can then take that data, that understanding, and start to drive program much more specifically. And here, I think most critically, the power of the university drags in its wake a whole lot of other folks and resources that we can start to bring to bear on the broader issue of hunger. So it's not only the specifics of a tactical study, but it's much more the university's ability to say, we're putting our resource behind our investment in the issue of hunger and the study of hunger, and along with that comes an awful lot of opportunity.